She used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I would have saw?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know, the thing on shows on TV.
I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you are aware there's an invention called television, and on that invention they shall show.
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show's called a pilot. And they show that one show to people who pick the shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't. And they become nothing. I think that she starred in the one that became nothing.
Yeah.
Presidency of the United States, right? High five that shit.
Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is the biggest pussy I know. It's Captain Philip Rest, sir. Good evening. I love you.
I love you too. I really thought you were gonna say, call me your kitty or something. You're like, no, this is the biggest pussy I know.
Today's show is called A Kitty Bobo Show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a. You think I'm a pussy? I think I'm eccentric. I don't think I'm a pussy. Like,
You're a pussy.
Like if we were like at a bar and we were gonna fight, I would fight.
You throw hands?
I'd throw hands.
So you think the line between being a pussy and eccentric is close? There's some sort of Venn diagram that crosses over heavily for you?
Well, I just think that sometimes you think that, he's obviously, won't stand up to his wife, won't stand up to his ex-wife. It has all these idiosyncrasies. He's got to be a pussy, and I'm like, no. Like I'll fight somebody. Like, I would never hit a woman,
right,
but I'd kick the shit out of one.
I just the title is Kitty Bobo Show, so I thought, what would be a pun on that?
Sure, no.
Everything else you've projected.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you. I've never thought once about you standing up to your wife. I just assume you won't.
They used to, in high school, they used to call me the projector.
That's because you put a light bulb in your ass, though.
Yeah, I forgot. Oh, speaking of which, you guys didn't notice it.
You have a transition from a light bulb in your ass or something? Okay.
We were in the garage. I just replaced all 6 light bulbs with these 3-panel LED lights.
Incredible.
And you can get a sunburn in my garage now.
And that's an upgrade?
Oh yeah, for sure. No,
you want to have toasty skin this.
Well, I just want it to be bright in there. I don't like
It's white, not yellow.
It's not yellow. Correct. It's white. It's a white light. And don't walk toward it. But I am really pleased with it. My wife, on the other hand, is like, why so bright? So,
well, congratulations on your new
Can we
lights.
look at it later on?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Hey, let's get our guest in here. Ready for this?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I don't like to use the phrase fan favorite, so I won't. No, this is someone we've had on the show plenty. We have the same blood.
It's in your blood?
Is it in my blood? It is in my blood. Returning champion. It's the Chicken Lady. It's my sister. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. You can say fan favorite. It's fine.
Fan favorite.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Most of our guests and stuff show up on time, but it's fine.
Let's not get into that.
You've had a rough day, so you've told us 3 times.
It was just a long day.
And as a man, we are supposed to say, "Why did you have a bad day?"
That's,
right?
That's
Is that
a
what
great
we're supposed
transition.
to do? Are we supposed to We're supposed to. If you give that to us, that information, we're supposed to process it and turn it around and ask questions about it.
Blake's been attending therapy lately, so he's learning a lot.
Oh, you. Speaking of that, I don't mean to interrupt.
He's the biggest pussy I know.
What a pain in the ass it is to try to set up a therapy appointment.
Oh,
I have had so many problems.
You are trying to do a therapy thing.
I've been forced to. but I'm having so many problems just setting it up.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, it is
What
bad.
about, I go listen to a lot of podcasts, and I think the name of the program is BetterHelp. It's like an app where you can just do it from home, and you don't even have to have the camera on if you're gun shy.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot about BetterHelp.
Can you do that if you're having a problem?
I don't think this is a situation that I don't think us sitting in the same room with no other human being except a screen is.
So you said us is it couples therapy?
Yeah,
you're gonna do?
yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know if it's mandated by someone or some authority system, but you should like check and see if that would work.
I don't think that's our vibe because we have a kid in the house. You don't want him hearing about it. You also don't.
You want to go somewhere outside of your home.
We need to leave this house.
Let's go to Panera Bread. Use their Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Sarah, you ever done a therapy before?
I never have. Don't need it.
I think.
Ooh, wow.
I think
Confidence.
I told you recently that I went to therapy, right, Blake? Didn't I tell you that?
Yeah, you went to therapy.
I went once with someone
For
else
someone.
who asked me to go
Right.
with them.
Okay.
And it worked.
That one time.
We're not together anymore.
No, it didn't work at all.
Well, my employer's going to give me 6 free ones, so I gotta clear that shit up and get it taken
got a
care
punch
of.
card?
I got 6 therapy sessions, and I'm not paying for a damn dime. So
Well, when you're talking about a lady's having a bad day, I think a lot of times they just want someone to vent to. Where men are like, how do I build this bridge? You know, it's a metaphor of the build bridge. I want to fix this thing. I want to find a way to fix this problem. But women don't want that, right? Women just want to vent. They don't want you to help them with their problems or try to fix it.
Sometimes for me it's both, but sometimes I just like to bury it deep and down, then it explodes.
Until it turns into cancer.
Yeah.
And they have to cut it out of you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but you don't feel that way, that you want, like, you go home and you talk to your husband Bob. You say, Bob, I had a bad day. Do you want Bob just to sit there and listen and say, I understand, thank you for telling me your problem, or do you want him to say, let's figure this out together?
Sometimes it's all different. Sometimes I just don't even want to think about it anymore, and then sometimes we
sometimes
go for a walk and I kind of get it out, and I like his advice. He always gives good
sometimes
advice.
you're not putting that on Bob, but sometimes you are. Is that what you're saying? Or are you?
Well, sometimes I don't. If he says you want to talk about it, he usually doesn't say it like that, and he just say what happened.
He's like, bitch, what's your problem now?
No, and I'll say, oh, nothing. Like it's nothing I want to keep talking about. And he does the same thing though.
All right.
He has things at work, and sometimes he just has to get it out.
But it's different between men and women, because I feel like if Bob were to vent about something, he might be like trying to get a brain trust together to figure out the problem,
Sure,
come
fix
up with a
it.
solution. But that's been my experience, that women just want to be able to vent
Yeah,
and have you there to comfort them rather than fix it for them.
I was told about 2 years ago, I don't want you to fix my problem. I just want you to listen.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And my problem with that is, well, I can listen, but for 45 minutes listening to a story where the last 30 seconds is what I needed to hear, that's my problem.
That is the burden we must bear.
Well-
and then women's burden is smelling farts.
That's why we live longer, though. Not that what the fart
You prosper?
thing, but that's.
I think
for
no, I think you're
talking.
wrong. I think you breathing in the
Your
farts,
farts.
it builds your immunity. It's like Keith Richards in the Rolling Stones drinking a bottle of booze every day and putting
Right.
heroin right into his eye socket. He's going to live forever because he's been pickled.
Yep.
You're going to live longer because you're
Okay.
breathing in stink farts.
Farts.
Yeah.
Is Bob a big farter?
Yeah, he farts quite a bit.
You got to fart.
My
babe.
dog farts quite a bit.
He wants you in front of the mic. He wants you right in front of there.
There you go. Sorry.
Something else we were talking about before we start recording, though, is eye surgery. All three of us in here, at one point at a time, are visually impaired.
Mm-hmm.
I wear contacts. You don't have anything in your eyes, and your vision is blurry right now, which is insane to me.
I have glasses.
I know, but you're not
I
wearing
only wear them
them.
when I drive or bowl.
But like you live a life where things are blurry when you're walking around, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. That would drive me nuts.
It makes me feel so much better.
I don't believe that entirely. Tell me your thought process behind your blurry living.
I would say that I can't do contacts. My mom, when I was in high school, talked me into contacts. I got them, and for like an hour and a half, we were trying to get them in. There's a big argument, and I just couldn't do it. And I'm like, oh, I'm not a morning person in the first place.
Yeah.
So like, if you can't function regularly in the morning, you can't expect me to. I have a little thing about eyes. Don't stick anything near my eyes. And then like during the day, I feel like. I'm like, well, it's just the glasses are clunky. I think I need new ones, but I don't. It seems like I'm carrying something around, which I carry enough burden and baggage around that I don't need a pair of glasses on too. But when I get in the car, I put them on, and when I bowl, I put them on.
So you can't. You gave it. You're what, 77 years old. So you're very old. out of your entire
47.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Out of your entire life, you've given the attempt for contacts an hour and a half, and you said fuck it.
Yes,
and
I
now
did.
it's just the burden of wearing glasses.
Yes, yeah, it's a one-time
It doesn't
deal.
make sense to me, but I can kind of connect those dots. My sister, on the other hand, also visually impaired, went to a doctor and said, "Put lasers in my eyes."
They did.
I remember years ago, I had a buddy who had like early LASIK. This is probably 2003, 2007, somewhere in there. And he said, I have to put jelly on my eyes for like a couple days or like a couple weeks. I was like, that's insane. That is insane. You did not have that experience.
No gel.
The technology's gotten a lot better. Can you talk about the process of LASIK, if you want to? Because it's interesting to me. I would kind of consider doing it.
Jason, I would love to talk about it.
What made you decide to do it, and how was the process?
What made me want to do it, I had the worst eyesight, and I always felt like when I took out my contacts, it was like suction to my eyes, and I don't know, things would get trapped in between, like when I would mow, and it was just, I hated them. And
Bob makes you mow?
I love mowing.
Oh.
Zen. It's Zen time.
I don't let him mow.
Oh, wow.
So anyways, always hate them. My glasses, very thick, expensive. And I thought, I'm going to look into this LASIK. They said I qualified.
As far as insurance, or just
No,
your body-wise?
My eyeball-wise.
Okay.
Like, not too big of like a stigmatism or anything. And and so I had an exam. Then they did the surgery. It was 15-second an eye. They had to put some numbing drops before in my eye. And then afterwards...
Are you hearing this? Numbing drops. That reminds me of when your grandma, Virginia, had someone with like some sort of device picking away at the cataracts on her eye.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear God.
But 15 seconds an
Yeah,
eye.
I will tell you, like, you're looking at a light. It's a laser, but all you see is a light. And at one point, he's like, look at the light, because my eye must have been like drifting. And then I got a little nervous, but no.
Like he was going to shoot something through your brain and you forget your kids' names?
Like, I just thought, I'm going to fuck it up. Like, I'm going to have to wear a patch, like, one eye. And so, anyways, they give you medicine before so you don't, like, I don't know, make you feel nauseated and numbing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So something on top of the numbing, too.
Well, I went home, and they make you put, like, a cold pack on your eyes. And you're supposed to take another pill, and you take a long nap. You wake up from that nap, and you can see. And that's it. Well, I couldn't sleep, and I felt sick, and I threw up. And every time I, like, opened my eyes, like, tons of water would just come, like, pouring out of my eyes. And I was freaking out. So I called Bob, and I was like, get home. I don't know what to do. They called the lady, and she's like, oh, that's never happened before.
You do not say that on the phone.
No.
And she's like, just tell her to take some Tylenol and try to lay down. I totally did that, and everything was fine. But, yeah, that's not the first time when people have been like, oh, she was vomiting? Like, why is she doing
It's
that?
like in the war movies
I
when
don't
a
know.
guy gets like a machine gunner, like rips a guy in half. He's on the ground. He's like, oh, God, Sarge. And he comes up and he grabs him. He's like, listen to me, soldier. We're going to get you out of here. Meanwhile, you can like see what he had for breakfast spill out of him.
Sure,
You know,
right.
he's like, the guy's dead. He's going to be dead in seconds. But
Right.
you tell him it's going to be okay.
Right.
You don't say, oh, my God.
That's never
I just
happened.
had something to correct my vision. I'm scared to death. I'm going to be blind. This is what's happening. And the guy says in this line, I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah,
That's
I
terrifying.
think the medicine, like, made me throw up. It wasn't the surgery. I think it was the medicine.
Oh, my God.
Anyways,
Would you
it
ever
was
do that,
fine.
Blake?
I had a piece of metal drilled out of
Oh,
my eye.
I remember that. Oh.
And so I was like 7, and I got a piece of metal in my eye, and of course, as a kid, you just keep rubbing it, and so
Oh,
it
good
got in
God.
there.
Was it just like a metal shaving of something?
It was a metal shaving. Actually, we think what happened was back in the day, you could buy salt blocks at the grocery store, and I think I was standing by it, and I like swept my hand across it, and my eye was itching and bothering me, so I'm just digging it in, and then so a 7-year-old kid, you're like, okay, we need to drill this out because it's already rusting and everything, right? And it's been 3 days. You know,
3 days. Okay.
and they're like, but you can't blink. Don't blink and look straight ahead. And and they said drill. They didn't say, so they just zzz, and this was coming toward your eyeball at 7 years old.
Did they numb you?
There had to have been some kind of numbing, of course.
This is some.
They should have put me out at 7 years old.
This is like a Clockwork Orange type pry your eye open.
Sure,
Right?
right.
It should be. They should be doing it like that.
And I remember they did it, and and they put a patch over it, and I had to stay in my room with the lights off for 3 days with this big, huge, gauzy patch, and I couldn't, yeah. So,
But it healed fine.
I guess so.
It affected his speech.
But after that, they drilled me so hard I couldn't talk right. But then I had glasses ever since then, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. But they didn't have lasers back in 1982.
We were living in a laser-free society back then. Yeah,
I miss those days.
I do. I miss a pre-laser United States. How long does it last, this LASIK surgery? Because right now your vision is near perfect, I would imagine.
Yeah, I should have done it a long time ago, but they say it'll last till like your eyes naturally start to age. So in my like later 50s, when you start to have readers, I might have to have those. But
so it's not like someday some suture just comes undone. It's a gradual descent into bad eyesight again.
I think it reshapes your eye to be correct.
And then
it might have a thinner layer.
Yeah, it's like you're stripping off a layer of paint or something.
Yeah.
But if you go back in your late 50s and have it done again, is that something that can be done?
No.
Oh, you get a one shot?
One shot, and then...
Do not miss your chance to blow?
You can have it redone. You can, but not for that reason. It have to be for just being nearsighted or farsighted.
Okay.
Not for your just... What do they call it when you just start to age and your eyes start to get old? Oldy eyes.
Old man time? I don't know.
Cataracts.
Yeah. Anywho, super
all right.
exciting.
I was going to ask you about koozies, but I don't think that's very interesting. Let's ask you about one more thing real quick. You work at a school where you are... Is your job like a secretary? Is that what it is?
Administrative assistant.
I like to call myself administrator. I think it sounds fancy, but my official title is called the attendance clerk.
Okay, so you
only keep track of who shows up and who doesn't? That's all you do?
That's the main part of my job, but I do 2 more things than that. No, I do a lot more things than that.
But okay, so when I would go into elementary school, I walk in the front door.
Yeah.
There's a lobby. Immediately to the right was an office, and that's where Shirley Hubbs would sit. You remember Shirley?
Yeah.
I think she's still with us,
Shirley.
right?
I think so, yeah.
And that would be you though. That would be your office in your situation. Like if that was
there's 2 of us.
Okay.
And
There's so many kids that you have to have 2 different people.
We have about 500 students. Yeah.
You should be able to take care of that yourself.
And then we have, about 50 workers or more, and then so there's a lot of people in our building.
You've been doing that for a couple years now.
It's my 5th year.
This is your 5th year already, and I assume you like it because you're still there.
Yeah, I like it all right.
Yeah, it sounds interesting, honestly. And you get the summers off, kind of, right?
I get 6 weeks off, and then it's nice. I get a Christmas break, and I get, spring break with the kids. Yeah,
Teachers Institute.
Yep. It's really nice that way. And then in the summer, I teach the swim lessons, so it really.
Oh, your
works out
mother-in-law's?
good. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're a swimmer?
I just teach swim lessons to children.
But you're a swimmer then?
I mean, I can swim. I never was a competitive swimmer.
Okay.
But it's funny you mention that because my brother was a swimmer. There's pictures of him in Speedos as a child.
Both Ryan and Kevin.
And now, I was going to say specifically Kevin because he works with you.
Yeah.
He is a master of the custodial arts at the school that she works. So that my brother and sister work together in the same building.
I know.
Wow.
It's really fun.
Is it nice seeing your brother every day?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Comforting.
Actually, he's gotten so many compliments. Everybody loves him there.
I think it's just because he knows what he's doing and he's not a lazy asshole.
I think it's because he is a hard worker.
He's getting it
Everyone's
done.
like, oh, he just came and fixed my drawer. Things have been broken for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think he got hired there, and the guy who was his boss wasn't around for a while for a medical thing. So my brother just got there and just started working.
Yeah.
With I don't think any real direction, maybe some light direction on what to do.
That's
We had
cool.
the old janitor show him around for about 2 hours one day. And then the maintenance manager, our maintenance director, he went and got his hip replaced, not even 4 days later after he started working.
Jeez.
So you say the old man. Speaking of old, our mom, very old, and she's retired as being a teacher, but she substitutes on some days. She'll substitute in that school. Half of my immediate family from growing up will be in the same building, earning wages together.
That's amazing. That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
It's like you're
right?
eventually you're going to take the school over.
Is that your plan?
We're trying to, yeah. We want Jason to come in and be the psychologist.
Oh, don't have him do that.
School counselor?
I'll break down these kids.
Well, logistics. Just have him order construction paper and glue.
Yeah, I keep a tight inventory. Yeah, that's what you want me for.
No, when I look at your brother, I think tight inventory.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Yep, that's what my psychologist says. I guess since that conversation petered out, I guess I'll ask you one more thing. You were buying you're not buying, you're building a new house in a few years.
Yeah,
right?
like maybe 4 or 5 years. We just bought a property.
But you bought a property like 10, 12 years ago. You built this big, beautiful home.
We've actually bought it like 15 years ago.
It's crazy, right?
No, more than that.
Was it
We've
really?
lived there for 12 years, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know Lorelai was very young when you moved in, and I think Nora was probably 1.
She was 2. Yeah, almost 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're already looking at, I mean, I guess not already, it's been a decade and a half or what have you, but why a change in the house? You just want a smaller home?
Yeah, less maintenance. We have a acre and a half yard. It's a decent size, and it's a lot of maintenance around there, and I think it'd be nice to... Bob always wanted to build again, too, and I'm totally for it, so, yeah. That's about it.
Interesting.
It's cool. I mean, that it's a stressful situation. I mean, obviously, you and Bob are prepared for how stressful it is, right?
It's not too stressful.
Really, you gotta agree on like doorknobs and stuff, and deal with contractors and.
I don't think it's that stressful of a thing.
Does Bob just like work all the time, and then like he's like, you're off half the year, you can just take care of everything?
Well, Bob kind of works adjacent to some of those businesses. He's got a good hand in it.
Okay.
He knows a lot of local contractors. He has access to materials. Bob's in a really good position to want to build a house.
Okay. All right.
So
Didn't know that.
yeah, that's kind of his family business locally. So
House building?
the
Sales,
trades.
yeah,
Trade materials. Yeah, that's about all you're gonna get out of me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Happy Halloween, by the way.
Hey, happy Halloween.
We're recording this on Halloween night. Today we discussed the pilot episode of A Kitty Bobo Show from the year of our Lord 2001. I mean, I usually say great year, but that's when the Osama bin Laden.
Well, it could still be a good year.
That's when he terrorist attacked us. Remember that?
It could.
It was that or our government did it. Either one of the two. I'm still on the fence.
I think it was both.
Well, go to loosechange.com and watch the documentary. Decide for yourself. Have you ever heard of that documentary? Real quick. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's Dylan something. He said, I want to write a Hollywood screenplay. And so he would I think he was like a production assistant. So he'd be around people in LA and Hollywood. And so he's writing like a story about like a terrorist attack. And I'm interested in, what happened on September 11th. I'm going to kind of use that as my baseline to make this movie. And he said the more he dug into it, the more things did not make sense. And so he made this documentary about how he believes it's a conspiracy theory documentary,
Sure.
but it's pretty well done and raises some good questions. That it was an inside thing, which maybe it was. I don't know.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
2001. I was
Great year.
26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I remember 9/11. I remember where I was at when it happened. I was doped up on cough syrup because I was sick as a dog. Mm-hmm. And I remember I called in sick to work, and I was on the couch, and I woke up from a haze and saw all this stuff going on. And then the phone rang, and my mom says, "You need to go to the gas station right now."
Oh my god!
But that year, I know this was a tragedy. By all means, I don't
Right.
want. It was a tragedy.
Thank you for laying that base. You're
But
right.
in 2001 was the time where I had sex with 3 different girls in one day.
Are you for real?
And not at the same time. It was separate times of the day.
In one day.
Yep. Not saying they were all 10s, but it did happen.
But between them, it added up to almost 10.
it added up to 11.
A couple of 2s, 4.5 maybe. We've all been there, right? Sam?
Yeah. So I was 26. You were 20 at the time. Where were you?
You talking about 9/11?
Well, I was just talking about. Yeah, I'm just kind of tying it together.
Yeah, on 9/11, I was at school at ICC, and I was in psychology class. Oddly enough, we're talking about psychology, and they were kind of like dancing around it. It was going on. I didn't really know what was happening, and then I went to the class after that which was my international studies class about the Middle East.
Whoa.
Oh.
So that was kind of
That's
interesting.
ironic.
Sure.
And so we kind of talked about a little bit of stuff in there, and then I had no idea the scope of what was happening.
Sure.
And then I got home, and I was like, oh, there's that attack. That's crazy. I watch it for 5 minutes. Like, all right, that's insane. But now I'll watch a cartoon. But every channel I went to, it was the same fucking thing. I've never been in my life in a situation. We're past it now with like streaming services and shit. But I've never in my life flipped every single channel and it was the same
that's all it
thing.
was, yeah.
It's never happened. That is a massive sign of the scope of the thing.
Sure,
to me.
for sure. Sarah, how old were you?
Well, I was 18. I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
You're
I
about a
was
month.
just born.
You're about a month away from turning 18 when 9/11 happened. Though.
Oh yeah, about a month away. Yeah.
So you were in high school when that happened.
Yeah, I was a senior in high school, and I was in Mr. Walker's class,
Hell yeah.
history.
Champ.
Yeah, and we were just we did all day was just go from classroom to classroom watching it too. It was
Wow.
weird.
That's
It
insane.
was bizarre.
You're like, you should just let me go home and watch
And then
it.
I did that night. I had to work. I worked at Kroger, and people were buying. They were like, there was a gas station right down the road, and it was like backed up down the street, and everybody was like buying water and crazy stuff. And I'm just like, I don't understand, but I'll keep scanning.
You know what's funny is like, what if I what if I had a pickup truck and I filled it up with gas tanks? I went to the gas station and I paid whatever their exorbitant cost was back then, $5.25, which is a stone's throw from where we are now. And I filled up my truck and every gas tank I had in the back. How long is that really going to last me?
Not very long.
A couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then I'm in the same spot I would be as
Right,
everyone.
because
who did
you're like,
make it to
oh,
the
I've
gas
got
station.
I've got all the gas in the world, and then and then
Nowhere to store it or all the funds to buy.
Sure.
You know, what are you gonna do?
people are going to steal it out of your
So
yard.
what you need to do,
Of course.
is get to the bike shop and make sure it's tuned up.
There you go. Take care of a bicycle. Practical ways to get around. That's exactly right. Hey, let's go back to 2001. In our minds. To do so, we'll talk about some things that happened there beyond just 9/11, which was the biggest news story of the year, probably.
And me having sex with 3 girls in one day.
That's pretty goddamn cool.
I think we gotta not call him a big pussy anymore. He's a
Well,
One of them did have a big one.
well,
one of them had.
good. What quantifies that?
Thick lips.
Okay, I was gonna say massive labia or a loss of elasticity inside.
No, I think if your sister wasn't here, I'd describe it more. But I think it would be inappropriate to describe it more.
Frankfurter in a hallway situation.
No, I think it's just they're just you got puffy. Hold on,
All right, that's enough.
you got
Nope.
You can describe
puffy
it. It won't gross
puffy pillows.
puffy pillows.
Merkin, I was gonna say.
Oh,
Isn't it weird how like the way people in the South say America is close to a toupee for your pubic area?
who's ever what?
Merca.
Oh,
Merkin.
but what do you say about a toupee in your underwear?
Merkin. That's what a Merkin is.
Oh,
Like if say someone's like I
oh, okay. So you're saying
got cancer.
okay, I got you now.
I got cancer treatment and all my pubes fell out, and boy do I miss my pubes. You go down to the Merkin store and you get fake pubes glued on you. You've heard of that, right, Sarah? No. You've never heard of a
That's a good
Merkin?
No.
I think it's Merkin.
Why would you want fake pubes? I'd say, hey, that's nice.
I don't know. How about the guy? Who gets one of his nuts lopped off because he's got cancer? They say, how would you like to have a prosthetic nut in there? Hey, you know what? Just less weight I got to carry around. Why would you want that?
Yeah.
I think with one less nut, I think you could maneuver better.
Yeah, or maybe if you say you lost your right nut, maybe that would affect the way you'd walk. Maybe you'd always veer to the right more or left since you have more weight on that side.
And then also, if you only had one nut, your wife or girlfriend would only get one black eye.
God. Booyah. Or what's the sound effect you're going to do? Oh, sad.
Sad for her. Thank you, Miley Cyrus. I appreciate you coming back.
That's her biggest hit. Hey, November 15th, Microsoft releases the Xbox in the United States and enters the video game market.
Hell yeah.
I got myself an Xbox when it came out.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Big, heavy unit. Big, heavy a console for the time. It was like it had like its own hard drive in it, so you could put your music in there and save it. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was
Play
before.
movies, right?
Yes, you had to buy a certain playback kit to watch it with the Xbox. Yeah, but you could. Yeah, consoles started playing DVDs back.
That's the one that stood up on the side, right?
This was like
Laid down.
it was like a big. It was like a kind of big. It looked black, but in like the light, it was like a kind of a green, like a translucent
Okay.
green. and then it had like a lot of lines in it. It was kind of a cool, but again, heavy.
Yeah.
Big old brick.
Is that the one that when you'd get the ring of death or whatever?
That's when it was over.
I
fell
or is it the
in.
next one?
I think that was the 360 that Blake was talking about.
The
That could
360.
stand up. You get the red ring of death on there.
Yeah.
That's a real bummer. November 27th, a hydrogen atmosphere is discovered on the extrasolar planet Osiris by the Hubble Space Telescope, the first atmosphere detected on an extrasolar planet.
Why have we not heard about? I mean, I don't even remember this. Like, why are we still talking about? Why haven't we sent the little probe thing to go there?
I don't know. You heard a few
What
years
was it
ago.
called?
The name
Orida?
Osiris. I think that's a
Billy Ray.
It's a Billy. It's a reference to Billy Ray Osiris, I believe.
How do you spell that?
O, and then Cyrus, of course. A couple years ago, they were saying what we're going to do is we want to get some land, people on we want on Mars. We want to go to Mars. Let's get some people together, and we'll send you to Mars. But here's the thing: you probably will not come back.
Right.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, young Eli is going to hit me here. What's he
You
doing?
come
here?
sit down?
No, we're going to movies.
You what?
Going to movies.
You going to the movies?
Memes.
Okay.
Mimi's.
You all right?
What is Mimi's?
Grandma's house. You all right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm watching a lot of Drew Carey shows, so I think about Mimi Bobek.
Right. I want my bow back. Go back.
Say we go to Mars, it's going to take many years, and then you probably it's basically you're just saying goodbye to everything you've
Sure.
ever known, and go. So if you went to if you went to Osiris, I don't know if your grandkids would get there. You know what I mean? You're on a spaceship for decades.
Right. I'd do it.
Yeah.
If I had the chance right now, if they said, hey, got the spaceship ready, you're going to go to Mars.
Right.
You can pick 3 females to go with you.
Would it be the same one?
It always comes back to that.
Oh, Same ones from 2001?
My standards have gotten a little bit
It wouldn't be
higher
the same
since
ones from the same
Well, that
day?
one was a really good cook. She was like a chef lady.
Are you being serious? Did
I'm
you
completely
have
dead
sex with
serious.
3 different
I'm
You've never
completely
done
dead
that,
serious.
sir? You
I
never
would-
had sex with 3 people on the
I
same
would
night?
never lie. I did. I would. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well,
He's got me beat, I'll tell you that
That's
much.
one person that many times, maybe, but not
you had
3
sex
different
with
people.
one person 3 times in one day.
Probably, yeah.
Well, triple that and see how that is.
Both of you guys
was-
got me beat.
It was actually like 3 different basketball courts. It's like playing basketball on 3 different courts in one day.
If you went to the moon, or the Mars, would you take your glasses with you?
No, I don't need to see anything anymore.
Space is infinite.
Yeah, I don't want to see. Yeah, no, I'm fine.
All right, I feel like I'm back in 2001.
I am.
Guys.
I'm thinking about that day.
Don't look under the table. Hey, sir, why did we choose to watch A Kitty Bobo Show? There's 3 reasons.
And a phantom.
There's kind of a 4th one this
You got a
season.
phantom.
Oh, there's a 4th one now? Okay.
Hold on one second. All right, go ahead.
Well, you can get it for free on YouTube. And it's a pilot, never got aired. And I'm guessing now because it's animated. That the
Hey,
first one?
very good.
It is free.
She
It's
got
free.
it. Well, she kind of got it on the. She kind of put the 2 in 1.
Okay.
Yeah, you found it free on the internet, is what you said.
Yeah.
So you got all 4 of them. That's great.
Hey, you should be the new host of Jeopardy. TV's Mayim Bialik or Ken Jennings.
I can't believe that people still watch that show. To be honest with you.
Never watched
It's an American mainstay, and I think the best thing that ever happened in that show is Alex Trebek saying, "I'm going to die." Then everyone's like, "Oh my god, I've got to tune in every day because I want to see the last one."
Oh, that's true.
my
Good
God,
advertising. That's marketing right there.
Good God.
Yeah, if I was Mayim Bialik, I'd say I am bipolar, and then you tune into it every day to see if she's gonna fucking freak out on you.
Well, we should do that with Couch Pilots. Be like, I am going to die at any time now. Check out every episode until we get to there.
Well, just because you want
But
to
you won't-
die,
you
but
won't
it doesn't
hear-
mean you're going to die. So.
Oh, speaking of wanting to die, do you want to just touch on this real quick, or are we too busy?
No, let's touch on it.
So for your birthday, we all went to this VR game thing, right?
I forgot to talk about that.
That's
Yes,
okay.
Let's talk about it.
But me dying is kind of what kind of prompted me to remember this. At the end of this game, there's 2 teams. You're shooting each other. It's ridiculous. But at the end, you're all one team, and you're on a cliff, and you got to fight a monster, and it's all foggy. You don't see the monster. And when I got onto this what do you call it? Platform, I guess. This edge of this cliff. The first thing that I thought about was, this is VR. Let's just jump off and see. Like I want to feel how it goes. I was like, did the programming people account for this when they programmed it, or is like as soon as I jump over, is this going to turn black and I go back into that stupid dead room where you got to redo it?
Yeah.
But I honestly,
What happened?
I didn't. I chickened out.
I didn't even think about that.
Which alarms me. It alarms me. I thought for sure if I had the opportunity to fake a death, that I would go for it to experience it.
You saw that as possible practice.
Do you know why I didn't do it?
Because you're a coward.
No.
You're the biggest pussy I've ever met.
That's not why. My first thought was, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. And then I was like, I don't want to ruin Jason's birthday.
Aw.
Ruining my birthday would be like the guy coming out
know.
like with his arm around Blake and putting a Band-Aid on his elbow.
because I hit one of the steel beams
you fell over.
Did you fall over?
Yes.
Okay, so what we did for my birthday, we went to a brewery and then we went to this VR place, which it's like like Oculus Rift. We have a big backpack on and you're in this warehouse. It's a big open room and you walk around this warehouse and you feel like you're in like a Halo environment. For those who've played the first-person shooter Halo, it feels like that. And there are different levels, but not in the warehouse. You're walking on a flat surface, but you feel like you're going up and down, and it really messes with your equilibrium. But it's a fun game, and we did that. We did 2 rounds. You guys went around, and I went around with some people, and you seem to have a lot of fun, Blake.
I did have a good time. I did have a good time.
And we're terribly out of breath.
But because I'm a smoking 47-year-old man who drinks beer all day. I had been drinking since 10 a.m. that day.
That's right. Loves booze.
But it was really fun. But only reason I brought it up is because there was a second to where I was like, I want to just jump off this and see how it looks like. Could I handle the real thing? It's the closest thing to reality, right?
The virtual reality.
Should I put suicide on here in the show notes?
Yeah, you should. Okay. Get some ratings finally. I was in a position where I made it to the top level during the practice for it, and I was like, I am here, but there's one more level just right up there. I'm going to try to jetpack up there. So in knowing full well that I'm in this warehouse, all flat surface, there's just there's walls, nothing could happen. I was too scared to use my jetpack to go up there because I'm not going to make it. I'm going to fall. And it's going to freak. It was right in the beginning too, where I hadn't completely acclimated.
Sure, right.
But I was too scared to do it.
Really?
Yeah. That was definitely my takeaway from it. It was like, okay, I did this. I now I know what to do. Maybe a little bit better. So like doing it a second time, I think and your sister was like trash talking in the outside in the lobby. She's like, "Oh, I've done this like 3 or 4 times. I'll kill all of you." And I was like, "You want to be on my team?" She's like, "No, I don't. I don't need you weighing me down."
Would you do it again?
Oh yeah, I would do it again.
I think we need to get all the podcasting idiots that we know together and we go do it. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Sure.
And all drop off the cliff together while holding
hands. Let's do it. I don't want you to die though. I like you. I don't want you to die.
Well, I won't die in real life.
She's not going to do that.
Oh, damn it.
I think we're going to do a time with
my virtual life.
Your family. I want to get me and Lorelai, and I think Kevin and...
No, it was fun. It was fun.
Good.
And I wanted how was the pizza?
It was excellent.
I wanted to try
good.
the pizza really bad, but I was concerned about how long it was taking, and then when my session started, was I still had a pizza left, or when I got in there, was I going to be too full to like move around?
Anxiety ridden.
But I did seem, because I like that kind of crust, like the pan crust, but like a square,
Like little
you know what? I was
Yeah.
telling Sarah, it reminded me of the old Garcia's Pizza in
Yes.
Northwoods Mall.
Garcia's pizza was amazing.
Well, it was okay, but this was like a better version of that, if you
really
ask
good.
me. It was good.
I had the veggies and it was just piled with it, and it was good.
Pizza Pie is its own place. Where Garcia's was like a chain. They probably got a bunch of frozen shit. I think they were probably making their stuff
they were.
fresh, and it was very good. I would say it was better. If you like Garcia's, you would have really liked their pizza.
and
we'll go back and do it.
I want to try it. I do
We're
want
going
to
to go
try
back and get it. Where can you find the entire episode of A Kitty Bobo Show for your dumb self? Well, you can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Sarah?
Go to YouTube. I always forget what to say.
Flight attendants.
No, you did it.
Prepare for takeoff, please.
You like airplane noises?
That's a helicopter.
I
I
feel
thought
like
it was
you...
like the lips flapping.
Oh no, that was a
wind.
helicopter.
No, that's a noise he uses for something else entirely. Summary of the pilot. Kitty Bobo wants to prove that he is cool by getting a cell phone. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to be receiving many important calls, so he begins to fake incoming calls. It's only a matter of time before everyone catches on to the farce. Blake?
I've struggled with this because I read the summary earlier today. I'm going to give it a B minus.
I had a feeling that'd be what you give it.
Yeah, a B minus for sure. I struggled with it. I wanted to give it a C, but I give it a B minus.
Sarah, you work within the local confines of school.
Yes.
You deal with the rating system every day, those grades.
Yeah,
You're constantly going through
change their
people's
grades,
permanent profiles.
You change their grades too?
Changing grades from an F, and you just draw the line down and make it an A.
So we're in grade school, and we do numbers. One,
What?
2s, and 3s.
One's being the worst, three's being the best?
3s being you're exceeding, 2
Nice.
is approaching,
So it's
1
like-
is...
It's like half of a Couch Pilot's rating scale.
Right.
Wow, maybe we could do some kind of like sign a contract, maybe like sponsor the grading system.
I think that's a great idea, and I will get to work on it tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Well, you have a couple ins.
I do have a couple of
An
A's.
attendance tech and a janitor and a substitute teacher.
If that doesn't give me anything, I don't know what will. Do you want to grade that summary I said? You don't have to.
The summary sounded pretty accurate. It was a good summary. It's
give it a
not
3?
very exciting. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.
On your scale? All right. Interesting facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. This is a part of the show where Jason has scoured the internet to find the facts that you may not know about this show. All we ask is that you don't taint someone else's experience and give your opinions about these facts. Keep your opinions to yourself. Enjoy them. You can tell your cat, because it's probably dressed up tonight as some kind of weird Halloween costume, but just don't share your facts. Don't share your thoughts about the facts. Thank you, Miz. You're awesome too. Dusty, I do. 3 girls in one day. It was difficult.
I don't know if I knew that before about him.
I think he's making it up.
No, I
don't
will,
think he's making
I
it
will
up.
tell you every damn detail there is.
Blake is maybe the down dirtiest liar I have ever met, but he never lies about his sexual encounters. Interesting facts. Estimated budget for the program, $230,000. Fact.
Okay. Release
Date, June 2001. Again, living in a 9/11 free society. A Kitty Bobo Show is an American animated pilot created by Kevin Callagher and Megan Dunn and produced by Cartoon Network Studios for Cartoon Network. Fact.
Can I ask a question?
Let's pause interesting facts real quick. Okay. And back in
I
interesting
forgot what it
facts.
was. I was writing something else
Okay.
there.
Smart. Thanks. We'll get back in there.
It's like keep you on your toes.
Yeah, it's working. The premise is roughly based on Dunn's life as a Korean adoptee. The main character had previously been featured in a comic strip by Dunn titled Kimchi Girl. Fact. The pilot aired on this. Now, this is conflicting information. I apologize for this conflicting information. The pilot aired on August 17th, 2001, on the network as part of their Big Pick competition, a marathon of 10 pilots with viewers selecting one to be produced for the network's fall 2002 season. The series lost second place to codename Kids Next Door. Now, I am aware of that show. I'm not familiar with it. I haven't seen it. Sarah, have you heard of that show?
Uh-uh.
I heard of it. I think our brothers probably would have watched
Okay.
that. They're a little younger than us. Fact. The pilot episode of this program is called, any guesses? Cell phones.
Yep.
Shame on both of you.
Well, I was getting there.
Shame on you. A storyboard for the second episode had been fully produced and completed in 2002. It was ordered by Cartoon Network itself. In its plot, Kitty Bobo is kicked out of his home and moves in with Monkey Carl. He proves to be a poor guest. Had the series been picked up, A Kitty Bobo Show would have been the first to have a woman as a creator and showrunner. Back.
I remember my question.
All right, hold on.
Was this ever remade and turned into a series?
No, but I have more information about that.
Okay. That was a question instead of a comment. You really didn't need to turn the music back on.
I was going based off of your early comment about I feel like we need to get outside of interesting facts.
Okay.
So I apologize.
No, I apologize back to you.
Fact. In the fall of 2005, Callagher pitched to Walt Disney Television Animation a pilot's revised version with the characters a bit younger. Callagher released a 50-page Bible in 2006 exploring the Kitty Bobo's universe in more depth. Callagher has since left the animation industry to pursue a career in software development.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say softcore porn.
Fact.
Kitty soft porn.
Kitty porn.
Jeez. That is...
That's the best thing about Halloween.
He pursued a career in kitty porn.
The best thing about Halloween,
A lot of money in it.
as a 47-year-old man, is just seeing young 20-somethings, 30-somethings in the little kitty ears. That's the only good part.
So real quick, I told you I went to go see John Daly downtown
Yes.
in Bloomington. So we go in there probably about 8:15, 8:30, and we're mainly in the club the whole night. I go outside later, I think, to put something in the car. Hundreds of kids outside dressed up, college kids. A lot of them with girls showing their dirty assholes to everybody.
I should have went.
Yeah. Well, just they had thongs.
That doesn't mean they're dirty assholes, but
Well, it's a guy. It's a sin.
to show your asshole.
Oh yeah, it's a
Oh
sin.
shit!
It's a sin. It's a dirty act. In
Guys, got
2000,
to cancel my OnlyFans.
that's up to you. That's
Yeah.
your business. It's you're the one who has to talk to St. Peter. So
Hey,
yeah.
I'm just it's like cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
In August 2010, Dunn started her own animation and graphic design company called Dynamic. During a Kickstarter fundraiser for her new show idea, Dunn offered backers a storyboard for the second episode of Kitty Bobo. And
That's a good Kickstarter kind of get. Like that's rare. That'd be kind of cool.
well, it's funny because the two people like in charge of this program, I believe they were a married couple and they got a divorce.
Ooh.
And one of them, I think the lady, tried to revamp this, or she started a new idea for a show, tried to Kickstarter it. It didn't work. She didn't raise nearly enough money. But one of the things is like you donate X amount, you get this. And one of those rewards during that Kickstarter was the storyboard for the second episode of the show we saw today, but never made. Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I wonder if Jason got some Twitter responses.
I did. So anytime we cover a pilot, we say to all the creators, the writers, directors, producers, and performers in the show, hey, greetings from Couch Pilots Podcast. We talk about TV shows that had only one episode. Next up for us is A Kitty Bobo Show. We're excited to watch it, and we're wondering if you had anything fun or interesting you'd like to share. Thanks. We hope to hear from you. Well, we heard back from Leela Lee. She played Maggie on the show, I believe the main female character, and she is best known from the television show Scrubs.
I don't. Oh, we got to cancel Scrubs, right? Like it's not. We got to cancel the guy that wrote Scrubs.
Who wrote Scrubs? Bill Lawrence?
The guy's in jail now for sexual misconduct.
I would love to hear more about what you're talking. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, no, yeah.
You're not
Okay.
talking about who's that douchebag that's in charge of the whole show? They're the main actor. What was that?
Oh,
Zach Braff.
yeah,
Is
Zach
that who you're
Braff.
talking about, Blake?
Not the actor, the guy that wrote it. I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Is it Bill Lawrence? I think he's married to Krista Miller, who is in the Drew Carey show that I'm nuts deep in watching right now. I had one of my nuts removed off. I got a prosthetic.
Oh, it's the producer.
Bill Lawrence?
Eric Weinberg.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Eric Weinberg, the producer of Scrubs, was arrested and charged with 18 felonies.
Jesus. Was he? Did he have his finger in all the ladies of the show?
He's got a finger on the pulse, obviously.
Sarah Chalk, I think, was the female lead in that program.
She's pretty.
Yeah, she does. I think she does the mom voice on Rick and Morty now.
Okay.
She's great. She was the second Becky on Roseanne.
Yes, she was.
Leela Lee was also in Tremors, the series. Oh. And,
Tremors.
and Better Call Saul.
Well, who was she in Better Call Saul?
Just one episode. You wouldn't.
You're
She's a beautiful lady.
talking to the wrong person. I know everybody from Better Call Saul.
Leela Lee, you can find her on Twitter at Leela Lee, Lealee. She says, it was fun. I'm a cat person, so playing a cat felt extra cool. I wished it lasted longer than the pilot, but that's how it goes sometimes. And I didn't respond after that. I just liked it.
Yeah, it's nice.
I could maybe ask that lady for an interview, but I don't know. The fucking 8-minute pilot. I don't know how much I'd interview her.
Right. Thank you, Leela Lee. Though.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you very much, Leela Lee. She's a very successful actress. I think she was even in an episode of like Friends. She's done a lot of fun stuff.
That's
But
awesome.
I appreciate you responding very much. Thank you. Let's go ahead and break down literally. It wasn't even 8 minutes long. It was. I think it was 8:06 was the time on the YouTube video, and there was like an intro and outro that had nothing to do with the pilot. So this show was really only like 7 minutes, maybe. Is that fair?
Pretty short, yeah.
All right. Well, we get a quick introduction from a cartoon talking about the Cartoon
Competition,
Network
right?
competition
Yeah.
of shows and last year's winner before they introduce the pilot. And then we go to like an urban environment, like in New York City.
Yeah, New York City.
Get a rope.
So there's it's right on a train, and there's a guy or a cat or whatever riding on a train, and as the train's going by, he's walking through every car until he gets off. And this is where when he starts talking, I find out it's a him. When I heard Kitty Bobo, I instantly thought a female.
Oh yeah, who the hell knows what the gender that is? But I would say this immediately: the animation. It feels grown up to me. It
is,
feels
yeah.
more mature than you would see something that would be like normally in the morning on a Cartoon Network. You know?
Yeah, I would say that it was more artistic. Maybe all the characters were taller. Everything was kind of like squished, kind of stretched out up and down, kind of.
The
Kind of like a jazzy feel, like the way.
that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it's and also too like a lot of times in cartoons, the characters are outlined. They didn't have like a dark outline on any of their bodies. I noticed.
No.
But I did notice one time when he was crossing his hands, there would be like a little dark line to separate that his hand was crossing the other one, so it didn't all blur into each other. It's an interesting choice, and I like the art design. That's your
Okay.
washing machine.
Yeah, let me go take care of that.
Yeah, it's out of whack. one of the this is like Saturday Night Live, Anything can happen.
That's really, really loud.
Someone put a brick in his washing machine.
Probably
Let's
a bunch
see.
of towels.
So Kitty Bobo, the protagonist in question, he's on an L train. He goes to a small diner to meet his friends, and he's almost instantly, very clearly showing off that he got a cell phone. And again, this is 2001. This is probably made in early 2001 or 2000. So like, I don't think I had a cell phone till like 2002 or 3.
I had one. I got one when I was 16.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't. I don't think I had one until I was like 20 or
Really?
21.
I got my own though. Like I always had my own.
And paid for it yourself?
Yeah. Well, I had my own account shortly after. Like mom had to sign off on it for a while. Like I had to be on the same, but yeah.
Do you remember your early cell phones?
Yeah, I had a little Nokia. It was awesome.
Did you?
cute.
Okay, so the last phone that I had before I got I had my first smartphone was the iPhone 4. And before that, I can't remember what it was that I had, but it was like a slide phone. It was like a
Mine did
little gray
too.
one, and I slid it up to reveal the buttons.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was a great little compact
I still
phone.
have mine, yeah.
I still have mine too. It's
Mine
funny.
had like a whole keyboard.
Mine did not have. I didn't have.
You
have the
just had to
keyboard.
slide with the numbers.
Yeah.
Mine was
So
like
I had to use
side
I used the
slide.
T9. Do you remember the T9 where it's like if you wanted, like it would automatically guess based on where you're pressing on the number pad what word you were trying to spell when texting. Do you remember that or
No,
not?
I don't remember that.
So if I was trying to like spell it would be like you like 8 4.
Right, yeah. You still had that on there. Yeah.
But you'd have to press 8
Three,
8 8
three,
8.
yeah.
You'd have to do it would
Yeah,
automatically
yeah.
guess
3
based
times
on
you do, yeah.
It was called
it'd take
T9.
forever.
It
Yeah.
would take forever.
I remember my friend Lake loved to text, and I just was like, no, it takes too long. Like, just call me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Texting
now
back-
I feel like you never call your friends. You just text them.
Yeah. So I was on I'm on a dating website right now, and I'm talking to this lady, and we've only ever texted. That's it. That's just how it is now. People, even like friends I've had for 20 years, it's mainly just texting. People you just meet, it's only texting.
Why is that?
I don't know.
My mom, not yours.
Say mom.
She would talk on the phone for hours, I felt like. Stretch that cord in the kitchen.
Yes.
This is the longest cord.
What is he doing with that washing machine?
I don't
It's
know.
embarrassing to him.
He probably got those 3 ladies in there. But, yeah, anyways. Cell phones.
Yeah, it's funny too. Whenever I used to call you when your kids were younger, the phone was connected to your kids somehow. To whenever I called you, your kids would instantly start screaming. Do you remember that when you were young,
Yeah,
being
or
on the
crying,
phone and
or
kids
crying.
screaming or something?
Yeah. And you'd be like, everything was just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The phone was connected to them somehow.
Somehow.
Those waves in the air activated them to scream and cry.
I think that's
anyway,
accurate.
back to the pilot. The characters that we meet in this show, they're all different animals. They wear clothes, and they act like humans would act, but there aren't any humans in this. This is like a world that humans would live in, except it's all populated by different animals that walk on their hind legs and
Yeah.
are about the same height, and they're very
It's a
anthropomorphic.
human with tails and a different head.
Yeah, Furbies,
Yeah,
Furbies.
basically.
Furbies or furries or Furbies?
Furries.
Okay. In the booth of the diner, they all they look at Kitty Bobo's phone because none of them have one. Again, this
Sure.
is in a time when not everyone had cell
Right.
phones yet. Later, elsewhere, the friends part ways, but Bobo is clearly obsessed with his new phone, and it's starting to bug those around him. This is the first time you can really see that they're like, okay, enough with the phone.
Yeah, we get it.
Maggie's a cat, right?
She's a cat.
And her and Bobo go see a movie. Do you guys remember what the movie is called?
Blood sucking babies.
Yeah. Would you see a movie called that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bobo gets a call during the movie and disrupts people. Then he puts the phone on vibrate. It goes off and disrupts more people. And he takes the call like in front of the screen.
Yeah, like he
practically.
vibrates, like he's trying to like go, and he gets out of his seat, and he's like vibrating. It was a phone should not. I mean, even the best vibrator in the world is not going to vibrate this
You're talking
much.
about phones.
It shook them all around.
It should come all around. He was in front. He was in front of the screen, and it's just,
Vibrated all the way to the front. Yeah.
Yep.
It
Oh yeah,
vibrated.
went down the aisle. I liked when he was in front of the screen. I was trying to watch the movie to see what blood sucking babies was all about, and it was funny. At one point, there was a lot of like close ups of people like looking like they were in terror. But at one point, there was a character that walked in clearly wearing a diaper, and I thought that was funny.
well, in the background, you heard him like a lot of baby, like goo goo gaga stuff was going on.
It's pretty silly. That night, Bobo sees a guy named Graffiti. He sees him from a distance, and Graffiti doesn't see Bobo. So he's like, I want to impress this guy by talking on my cell phone near him.
Because he doesn't have a cell phone.
And so he'll think I'm cool. Because yeah,
he was on a payphone.
that's exactly right. So he gets his buddy, his name is Paul Dog. I saw that on IMDb. And so he's obviously a dog. And he gets him to call him from a payphone around. So there's like two payphones right around the corner from each other. And so Paul Dog is like, I'm not really into what you're doing, but I'll do it for you because you're asking me to, and we're friends. So Graffiti and Bobo, they don't seem to be pals, right?
Graffiti and
No,
Bobo?
yeah. No, they
He's just trying to be cooler than
They
him.
know him from the streets.
Yeah, that's all it is.
He probably does graffiti.
I would imagine so. What a lack of foresight if he doesn't. Graffiti's on a payphone, and when Bobo approaches him, he's like, he doesn't want to be bothered. And then Bobo, like, he talks some shit to him about being on the payphone and not using his cell phone. And then Bobo gets a call from Paul and pretends it's a girlfriend. And Graffiti, it kind of works. He walks away kind of pissed off.
Yeah, and then he turns around and it ends up being Graffiti. Calls him from busts out his dog friend. Calls him. Calls his
He
cell
just
phone.
takes the phone, I think.
Yeah,
He kicks Paul Dog off the phone, gets on there and says, "Hey, I know
Paul
you're
Dog.
screwing with me."
yeah. You always screwing with me.
And he also says to him, "You'll never be cool."
He'll never be cool.
And
That's all Bobo wants.
Bobo's like, I want to try this trick again because I saw someone down there. I know her name is Coco, and Paul says, "I'm not doing that." And he
right. Yeah.
leaves. He
Paul's
says,
like, "You're an idiot."
"Fuck it."
So, yeah, he calls, and so he's on his bicycle.
It's
now?
like the next day.
Bicycle, I learned to ride my bicycle. And it's basically he's on his phone, and this is like before driving your car with your cell phone was bad. It was kind of an interpretation of that.
Yeah.
He's going through the town on his bicycle.
Through a
and
city.
He's through a city on his phone, and he's dodging all this mishaps until finally...
Well, he's calling Maggie. She's like, "I don't have time for you." He's like, "All right, it's my phone. I love being on my phone. I'll call Paul." "Hey, Paul." He's like, "Dude, I don't got time to talk to you right now." All right.
And then he texts a monkey.
He instant messages
Yes.
them. This really kind of is an interesting timestamp because they don't say the word text. This is kind of before text had
Right.
really
You're right, you're
entered the
right.
lexicon.
Didn't think about it.
He says, I'll message Monkey Carl, and Carl's at home on his computer.
Yeah.
Right.
SMS?
I never AIM was one.
Okay.
AOL. He messaged him, and Carl's like, What are you doing? He's like, I'm riding my bike. That's crazy that you're doing that you're instant messaging me while on my bike, and then Bobo instantly crashes at a construction site. And what happens to his cell phone?
It breaks.
That's the noise it made. Do it again. That's pretty good.
Shattered.
It quietly shattered.
Shattered.
Just quietly.
Bobo arrives at the diner where we saw him earlier with all his buddies, and he's looking completely disheveled because of his crash and unconsolable because of the loss of his son.
phone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
And then come to find out, all his buddies that are sitting around, they all got cell phones.
That's probably why they were busy.
He comes in, he says, "Hey, my cell phone broke," and they're all like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but they're like kind of smiling about it. They're like, they're a little disingenuous because it's been a pain in their ass, and then they all get calls and leave him in there.
Do you think it was jealousy at the beginning, or were they mad, like annoyed that he was on his phone? Combination?
I think it was a little bit of a combination because everyone wanted a cell phone,
Yeah. Sure.
and but he was like doing it up so much.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was a
Right.
little bit of jealousy and a lot of annoyance.
Yeah.
Sure.
Where's all the beepers?
I had a beeper.
I did too. I had a beeper for
Did you ever
work.
have a beeper?
I never had a beeper.
I had a beeper.
Was it for work or just being cool?
No, I got a girlfriend that got it for me. I
I-
think she's trying to keep tabs on me.
Yeah, I had one for work.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, I did have a lady. Anytime
Which girlfriend is this?
she sent me. She would send me a message on my beeper. It'd be like the message was 69 because we're like dumb and immature. And then
Were you guys doing 69?
you could imagine what that
she
would
spelled
meant.
boobies out.
Yeah, she said, "Turn your beeper upside down."
You're like, it already was because it's clipped to my pocket.
All the friends.
Jason used to clip it up on his
Oh
pocket
yeah,
up
on my
on his
lapel.
Oh, wow. Nice.
They took their cell phones outside, and Kitty Bobo's left in the diner screaming, kind of like no. Yeah. So all his
was the
friends
best
go out.
part of the movie.
It was good. Then we get a fun little outro and a fun little tune to it. Like we didn't get really an intro song or introduction,
Right.
but we got a nice little tune.
Yeah.
And then it's odd. Over the credits, it's like panning and rotating shots of the city, but it's almost like a 3D animation that we have not seen before in the car. It was not the style of the cartoon. It was an interesting series of shots for the credits.
I might have missed that part.
I think I missed it too.
Anyway, we get a quick outro from the animated character at the beginning who introduced the show as part of the contest, and that was about it. Pretty tight, wouldn't you say?
Tight 8.
Keep a tight inventory.
It was a very short and simple.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of
My son put 75,000 pounds of clothes in the washer, then added another 400 pounds of water. So right, you know what's going on right now? It's just sitting open because I couldn't move it around or anything.
Yeah, it sounded like a nightmare in there. I don't know if it was called the mic.
Or the other part of it is my washer broke because of how.
Was it on the spin cycle?
Yeah.
It sounded like
Was
someone
it
threw a
off
brick in there.
balance?
Oh yeah, it's
You
hella.
got to move it around,
Honey, I was moving it.
and it was still doing it. Ugh.
Yeah, it's heavy.
You're calling other people besides me, honey? Well, that kind of hurts.
You should see Kevin's washer. It's really broken.
Our brother's washer?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
There's like whatever springs that lets it move in the spin cycle that's non-existent. It just flings everywhere. Sorry, hit the mic.
Don't touch it too much. You'll Big E that mic. All right. We know it's part of a contest. All right. X amount, like maybe 10 different cartoons said to throw their hat in the ring. It didn't win. I believe this show got second place.
That's what it said.
Why didn't it work? This is 2001 Cartoon Network.
Sarah, we'll let you go first. You're the guest.
Any ideas?
Well, it was really whiny. Like everyone just like kept whining in it. Like, he's bragging about his phone, and they're just like, that's all you do. We don't care about that phone. And it kind of just didn't have any real connection with any of the characters,
Okay.
Just
7
kind of-
minutes is a tough amount of time to really get to know characters.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
think, and there was like really no action. Like if you're gonna have an 8-minute pilot cartoon, you got to have a lot of action. You got to, we've watched a lot of 15-minute ones, and it's just like bang, bang, bang in your face. And this, I mean, there wasn't like a lot of like jokes. Like there wasn't a lot of like one.
You're right. There wasn't a lot of
funny.
comedy
It
or
was-
jokes.
It just kind of, and there was no action really, and it was just this guy being annoying because he got a new cell phone, and that's.
Well, let me posit this. We said, and I didn't investigate it a lot, but it was from a comic strip called Kimchi Girl. So if a lot of these characters from that, it almost speaks to the tone of the show. Because in a panel of a comic strip in like a newspaper, you've got like 1 to maybe 6 panels.
Yeah.
Like 3, I think, is usually about all you get in a comic strip in a newspaper. But in the comic newspaper, like there's really no huge jokes. It's just kind of subtle, like little chuckles. You know, it almost feels like the tone from the comic strip made it to the cartoon.
The writing.
To where, it wasn't super exciting. It was just kind of this monotone, mundane thing. I really enjoyed the art style, personally.
Yeah, I
I
like
thought
the art
the
style, for
animation
sure.
was good. I didn't hate the show. I thought it was pretty decent. I think the problem lies with the demographic. This is almost adult enough to be on Adult Swim, and not quite young enough to appeal to probably like Codename Kids Next Door was about children in a neighborhood being like expert spies or something. That's kids doing kid stuff. This isn't a kid that. How old do you think Kitty Bobo was? I saw online.
On a
15?
bike, yeah.
15?
15?
Yeah.
I read somewhere where all the characters in this were supposed to be between like 19 and 21.
Oh, wow.
So that to me skews a higher demographic. But with that, you don't have
On Cartoon Network?
That's what I'm saying. The demographic thing might have been wrong. Those are my ideas anyway. I don't know what you guys think about it.
I think is what I said.
I think what you said was probably the
Ladies and
best.
gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are.
Your daughter did the VR thing. How did she like it?
She loved it. She was tired afterwards.
I
She had
didn't
a
get
blast.
formally introduced to her, but she seemed really nice.
Oh, sorry.
She's-
Yeah.
No, it's fine, but
She's,
she seemed like, she's well behaved.
She's a great kid.
yeah.
yeah.
She's a really good kid.
My sister's doing a very good job as a mother. She's a very good mom.
I hit them regularly though.
Oh, that's good.
that's a big part of it.
Nice. You know what? High five that shit.
Back in that shit.
Blah, 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 blah.
Though I think they're both probably better humans than I am. Nellie's
Oh,
been
for
more
sure.
mature. Like,
Isn't that the whole point, though? Like, as
Yeah,
a parent, like,
yeah.
that's when you know you've succeeded, is if they're a better person.
and it
than you.
happened like when she was like 4. I remember one time we were at a restaurant. This is always like she's kind of an old soul. My older one is, and I like jokingly, like Jason does, like when you sit down, you make a fart noise. Like we were at a restaurant,
You
a
got to.
bathroom,
You gotta
and
do
I
it.
just sat down and just, and she's like, "Mom, this is a nice place." And she was 4, and I was like, "Sorry."
That's awesome.
She was 4 when she said that to you?
Yeah, she was little, like really little.
You know, it's funny. It's like
Yeah.
they're both like pale skin, like kind of strawberry blonde kids.
Sure.
So they like the kids look fairly similar in the scheme of things. Couldn't be more different. The two of them.
Really?
They're very opposite. Yeah.
It's funny because like you bring an Asian guy over here, like, oh, these fucking Americans look exactly the same. They would look identical to an Asian guy, her kids, but they are personality wise radically different. Both great kids though.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Nellie's definitely like her dad, and Nora's
Does she wear a
Fortunately,
Band-Aid
like
underneath
me.
her eyebrow?
Does she what?
Does she wear a Band-Aid underneath her eye?
Like Nelly,
like the rapper.
the singer?
Yeah.
She does.
Okay,
She
that's
came
fine.
out with one, and that's when I
Oh.
was like, Nellie. No, she's named after my husband's great grandma. So it was Nellie's great great grandma, and she knew her for 10 years.
Oh, wow. That's
Great,
awesome.
great grandma.
Yeah,
That's
Grandma
crazy.
Nellie,
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
she passed away at 100.
100.
Yeah,
Oh, I hope I don't make that one.
that's good genes.
And she
there.
told me when she was 97, we were at her house one day, and she's like, "Boy, this 97th year has been my roughest." And she was like holding her neck like she had a stiff neck, and I was like, "Damn it, Grandma." I was like, "Well, I think it's going pretty good."
I thought it'd be
then."
fun if she'd be like, I can't wait to meet Nellie's kids someday. Won't that be great? It's like, oh, Nellie, I don't.
Oh, no.
I don't.
I'm not thinking.
Have some more coffee.
You shouldn't be here now, ma'am.
No, Grandma.
That's a good.
Grandma Brown
That's
was
good
awesome.
genes.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
It all comes down to that, right? I was talking to my British grandma the other day. I had dinner with her and my mom, and we were just talking. We were talking about that, just how like it's all genes. It's all genes, you know.
We're not
Yes.
talking about pants, right?
Levi
flies.
501.
Button flies were.
Oh yeah,
You had a pair of button
Bugle
flies.
boys.
You hated a girl who had button flies on. Oh,
Just trying to get in there. You mean?
Jeez.
How many of the 3 girls you laid with biblically on that one day had buttonfly jeans?
No, it all came before that.
So do you guys prefer a hipster or the high rise?
I don't like high rise.
I don't like high rise
I'm not
either.
a high rise guy.
No? Okay.
It looks like it was from Mad TV. The mom that had that weird kid.
Stewart?
Yeah, it was like his mom.
Yeah, I think it was Mo Collins.
Yeah.
And the Stewart was played by Michael McDonald. I hated Mad TV, by the way.
Oh, really?
The show's terrible. Ugh.
Sorry, I brought it up. I guess.
I don't love the fashion from the late 90s and early 2000s, but that's when girls would wear those hip jeans.
Mm-hmm.
I like those. The mom jeans thing, I don't want I don't want the bottom or the top of your jeans kissing the bottom of your rib cage. That does not look appealing to me. What do you think about that, Sarah?
Well, they're not appealing on me because I feel like I have bigger hips. If you are skinny, like all the way down, like real thin, I think they look good. I think it just depends on your body type. I don't really like them on me. When I was pregnant, maternity, those go up
Well, that's a different
to
thing.
like your boobs.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
You tuck your nipples right into those
You
things.
do, yeah.
But so like the hip jeans would look better on you?
Yeah, I do more of like a mid-rise.
I those are better
Sit
to
on my
me.
hip. I don't like the really low ones that were like your fly is about 1 inch.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see the top of
My
what
butt
you're
crack
christening.
definitely
But
hangs out of those.
I prefer that over the mom jeans. Mom jeans of the high rise. It makes ladies' asses look abnormally long, and I don't know that that's appealing.
I really just like a basic like fit and flare, like the
Oh,
flared jeans.
fit and flare all day, right?
High five it. IMDb score. This is the part of the show where we say other people have seen A Kitty Bobo Show, and people have graded it. They've rated it. IMDb scale of 1 to 10 decimal points in place. Well, Blake always cheats, so we'll start with you, sir. What do you think people from around the world rated A Kitty Bobo Show?
What are we rating it on again?
1 to 10 decimal points in play.
Okay. We'll give it a 7.5.
7.5. Blake, you cheated. What's the right answer?
8.3.
That's 8.3 from 84 ratings.
Wow.
Okay.
Critic reviews. Editors of Koream, a monthly magazine for the Asian American community, reported that Korean American adoptees would be able to see a reflection of themselves in the pilot. Now, if I hadn't read earlier that this reflected someone's experiences as a Korean or an Asian adopted person, I would have no idea those are the themes here.
Not at all.
No.
I'm curious where people are making those connections and parallels because I don't see that whatsoever.
Is it because of all the people are different animals, maybe?
But even they were different animals. I mean, if that's supposed to be the diversity of the show, cool. It's cool. I like the animation
I just
style.
think it seems like in like Asian culture that was like they were, I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know. I don't know what maybe cats represented Asian people in this show. I seriously, I think both the creators were Asian. The lady and even Maggie was the voice of Maggie was Asian, I believe. So I don't know. I didn't see that. I don't understand where those parallels lied, but this magazine apparently picked it up. In a retrospective review of the show, Ahmed Amidi of the animation entertainment blog Cartoon Brew wrote that relative to pilots produced by the network, Kitty Bobo had some potential. He regarded its color styling and appealing design to be most memorable, while recalling it to have decent storytelling as well.
Okay.
Also writing retrospectively, Adam Finley of AOL TV stated that while not side-splitting by any means, the pilot contained a few comedic moments. He praised the art style, contrasting it from other Cartoon Network programming. He ultimately opined that the short did not deserve to win the competition, but it would provide a little more variety in style for the network. I agree. I like that. I like that art style.
Yeah, I did too.
I think that's what everybody's kind of saying in all these reviews is like the art style is what held it up.
Yeah.
I think if they would have gone with the beeper, not the cell phone, way more exciting.
You might be right. Let's see. Viewer reviews. Aqua Midi Deluxe 1 year ago says, underrated aspect of the show, the music. It fits the urban vibe perfectly, but it's a little cute too, like the characters. The ending theme is so endearing, it makes it even more heartbreaking that this cartoon never got picked up. And that's the ending. The theme I was talking about, the ending, it was kind of a cute little... I think it didn't even say the words Kitty Bobo.
Yeah.
Fork Q, which I think is someone saying, what, Blake?
Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, watch what you call me, buddy. This feels a little more Adult Swim than a kid's regular show. Tanner in 5 years ago, seriously, one of the coolest art styles I've seen, would totally work today with an updated pilot. And finally, Legends P, just 7 years ago, says the only reason why a show like this didn't win is just because at the time the Cartoon Network didn't have the big teen and young adults demographic that it has now. If this show was pitched today, it would have most likely been picked up by Adult Swim or Netflix.
Ooh. That is going out on a ledge.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Cartoon
to
Network's still around
SCI
today.
Airport. Local time is 11:11, and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
First lady I was dating after high school had her own apartment, which is really cool.
Nice.
And I remember watching Adult Swim over there, and that was like 2002. So this might have been right before Adult Swim really kicked off. 'Cause there was no other place to go really for it. Where in 2001 are you going to put your cartoon other than Cartoon Network?
Nowhere.
Saturday morning cartoons were still around, but
That's kid oriented.
they were 5-6 years away from going away entirely. Anyway, this is the end of the show where we rate the program in question, A Kitty Bobo Show. We have a very specific rating scale. It's not that bullshit 1 to 3 one you do at your elementary school. All right, we don't.
Just don't want to hurt no kids' feelings.
1 to 3 is dumb. We have a better scale, don't we, Blake?
Yeah, it's a 1 to 7. It's based off the characters from the television show Wings from the 1990s. And a 1 is the worst score you can get. That's a Roy Biggins. And a number 7 is the Brian Hackett, which is the best score you can get. Sarah, as our guest, and first of all, it's been a pleasure having you. How would you rate A Kitty Bobo Show?
Where's the other characters? I need to know. Like the 5th one.
Oh, of our grading scale?
Yeah.
Well, from Wings, you said Brian Hackett's the best.
Yeah.
That's number 7. Number 6 is Helen Chappell. Number 5 is a Bud Bronsky.
All right, we go with Bud.
You want to go number 5, Bud Bronsky?
You're budding it up?
Yeah.
Bud Brons, brah. Captain Philip Rest assure I turn to you. How do you rate A Kitty Bobo Show?
I didn't laugh. There was no action. Nothing was really going on. I felt like it was pretty, I don't know.
Boring.
And I am going to go against the grade as a former graphic designer, college student.
That's right.
I'm going to say I didn't enjoy the artwork.
Oh, okay.
I give it a 2. I was very disappointed, and I didn't enjoy it at all. I think the only good part of it was when they said that the name of that movie was Blood Sucking Babies.
It was an attempted humor.
It was attempted humor. I just thought it was pretty lame.
I like this show. I'll reinforce that I like the art style. Not every show's got to be side-splittingly funny. Maybe that's the expectation from the Cartoon Network at the time. I don't know. I felt like this was a slice of life. You know, knowing that it came from a cartoon strip makes sense. You can kind of see,
Sure.
Some of the mundaneness or simple beats that you would get, how that would translate. Maybe these people were not as well equipped to create a show that the masses would love, and that's why it didn't go forward. But I did enjoy this. I could see this, you doing 20, 25 episodes of these little shorts a year. You do 2.5 hour, you put a commercial or two in between. Nothing wrong with that. I kind of liked it, honestly. And I'm going to give it a 5, along with my sister there. And with our 5s and Blake's 2, we shall close the book on A Kitty Bobo Show, and we'll never mention it again.
Here.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we march along with our season of animation and we watch the pilot episode of the Magic Trolls and the Troll Warriors. Here's a little something.
that answers a lot.
Oh, I have no idea what that means. At this point, we've already seen it, and I've sent you the links. What do you mean?
Well, I had Magic Trolls and the Troll, which didn't make any sense. I did not anywhere see this Warriors thing. So
interesting. Well, here's a little something to wet your whistle. The evil King No Laugh, which I read as No Laugh.
I read it as No Laugh too. I didn't even ring a bell.
But having watched the show now, it's No Laugh. And his troll warriors have conquered the once joyful kingdom of Ever After. The land's only hope lies with 5 magic trolls who have been placed in suspended animation. You can find the entire episode of The Magic Trolls and the Troll Warriors by subscribing to Couch Pilots, the SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Sarah?
I'm definitely going to watch that show.
You should.
I love trolls.
It's in 3 parts on YouTube. And, of course, you know what to do, Tube. If people want to contact us, it is possible. We're not beyond reproach, right,
Sure.
Blake?
We're always available. We've been available for years. I would go to couchpilotspodcast.com. It's a one-stop shop. You coined that phrase.
Thank you.
It's a one-stop shop for all your pouch pilots.
Oh, that's the next show we're going to do.
Maybe probably done after this one. I had a little too many beers, I guess, standing around waiting for kids to come to my... Wait, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't sound good. I had too many beers waiting around for kids to come to my driveway.
For
Halloween.
It's just Halloween today. You weren't just waiting for kids in your driveway.
Why aren't they coming here?
Oh, my God.
It's the regular Monday night.
Yeah, you can listen to every single episode we've ever done. You can email us from there. You can go to our Instagram. You can go to our Facebook.
Don't go to the Instagram. Nothing's ever happened there. Twitter or Facebook, and even Twitter.
Go to our Twitter.
Twitter is just. Well, don't go to Twitter.
No, I said go to Twitter at least.
I am active. I will respond to you there.
and you'll see what we're going to watch next, which is maybe you see one of these movie stars get a hold of you and say, yeah, well,
We love movie stars. Also, Couch Pilots at Gmail, couchpilotspodcast at gmail.com. It's a real website or a real email address.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Patreon.com.
The last email we got was from Manscaped, and they obviously wanted to promote us, but wanted all our statistics in regards to the fact that they didn't ever know anything about us.
I think I did see that one. It was a weird email. Yeah, pass.
Although I would like to have Manscaped is a good product.
I would like Manscaped money. Yeah, I want to shave my one nut.
No, I don't need the money. I just want I want the equipment. It's really good. You can use it in the shower.
Oh, can you?
It's electric. You can use it in there.
It's a boogie woogie, right? It's electric. Hey, go to patreon.com, and then there's a search engine there. You can put Couch Pilots. It'll bring our names up. And then what you do is you give us the money that you've earned. You give some of it to us.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Yep. And then that's the end. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always agreeing to come do this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I hope you enjoy it.
I do. I enjoy.
I hope the backlash at home isn't too much.
No backlash.
Does Bob get mad?
No, he doesn't get mad.
He doesn't like it, but he doesn't get mad either.
He doesn't not like it. I don't know. It's just like...
We talked about this before, right?
I don't know. Just a long night.
She's hanging out with her brother...
And some dope.
And a dopey dude. He's met me before. He understands that there's no way your sister would be like, that guy?
No, I don't know what it's even about. Yeah, he just...
Is he just grumpy, not like to do fun stuff?
Sometimes.
Really? Is he a fuddy-duddy?
No, I don't know.
I feel like Bob's a pretty regimented guy.
He's very regimented.
Very regimented.
Okay, so
and he's at home.
We're interfering with his regimen.
Time, yeah.
I mean, I don't understand.
Well, and I left, and I was like, here's your food. Enjoy your dinner. Clean it up. Pick up the kid. Go get some other stuff for this kid. All right, bye. Like it just...
Well, I hope I'm not driving a wedge.
No wedge.
Yeah, I don't want another...
No, he doesn't. No.
But thank you for telling us about your eyeball earlier. That was nice.
Yeah, and I threw up.
It's pretty gross. Blake, what do we decide we're doing at the end of every episode this season?
We don't really have anything. I still didn't come up with anything, although I had plenty of time. But I will say that
at least you're honest about it.
I will say that the new season of Big Mouth is on Netflix.
Oh, the new one came out?
Yeah, and I mean it's just as ridiculous as always.
John Daly does a voice on there.
Yeah, I will say that it's if you know the people that are voicing it, it just kind of makes it fun. You know what I mean? I could see where the writing is just kind of like how much can you talk about sex over and over and over on a cartoon, but it's still fun.
It's a cartoon about kids kind of in that
going through puberty,
in that life, that life change of puberty and stuff, and just all the different emotions, and it's a lot of
like documentary style.
Like it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, a lot of famous or like alternative comedians are in it, and it is funny.
It is funny.
Yeah, it's funny,
but it's just like it
very sexual.
Sometimes you just go
pretty dirty.
You're like, okay, I mean,
that's enough. We've seen that before. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I should go back and watch some
the
of
first
those.
couple seasons are really good.
I think I saw most of the first and part of the second season. Beyond that, I haven't really watched
I've watched every season. I would say the first season, just go through and watch that, and if you enjoy it,
you'll get it.
And
I don't watch much TV.
You don't necessarily go through all 5 or 6
Well, what are you watching right now?
I've been watching the Better Call Saul.
Oh, that's right.
Oh no.
That's on you. Where are you at with it?
Until you give me your password, I'm not on nothing until it goes on Netflix.
You've seen none?
I have not seen any of the last season at all.
Well, she's not even to the last season.
Okay,
she can't spoil shit for you.
I wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure.
Watching that,
freaking out.
And then I watched a little bit of Handmaid's Tale. I think that's kind of a cool.
Handmaid's Tale. I have not watched any of the new season, but I have loved it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I can't wait for that dystopian world it's going to happen, and I just can't wait for it to happen.
Right.
That's his style.
People do think that.
Oh no,
people think that
100%. You cannot tell me that 100% within the next 40 to 80 years it will happen for sure.
Well, you'll have already jumped off that cliff, though.
Well, yeah,
virtually.
So you won't even see it.
Well, life is still going to go around whether I'm here or not.
I'm teasing you, but
I want to be a commander.
I don't think it can.
Okay.
Not, I don't think
I haven't
like
seen
that.
it. I have no. You can
right.
spoil it for me. I don't give a shit about that show.
No.
Hey, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.